Article 277 of the Revised Penal Code, abandonment of minor by person entrusted with his custody in deference of parents. The penalty of arresto mayor and a fine not exceeding 500 pesos shall be imposed upon anyone who, having charge of the rearing or education of a minor, shall deliver said minor to a public institution or other persons without the consent of the one who entrusted such child to his care, or in the absence of the latter, without the consent of the proper authorities. The same penalty shall be imposed upon the parents who shall neglect their children by not giving them the education which their station in life require and financial conditions permit. The case I will be discussing focused on the second paragraph of Article 277 of the Revised Penal Code, or the indifference of parents.
Roberto P. de Guzman, petitioner, versus Hernando B. Perez, in his capacity as Secretary of Justice, and Shirley F. Aberde, the respondents. GR number 156013, July 25, 2006. The facts of the case are as follows. Petitioner and private respondent Shirley F. Aberde became sweethearts while studying law in the University of Santo Tomas. Their studies were interrupted when private respondent became pregnant. She gave birth to petitioner's child Robbie Aberde de Guzman on October 2, 1987. Private respondent and petitioner never got married. In 1991, petitioner married another woman with whom he begot 2 children.
Petitioner sent money for Robbie's schooling only twice, the first in 1992 and the second in 1993. In 1994, when Robbie fell seriously ill, petitioner gave private respondent 7,000 pesos to help defray the cost of the child's hospitalization and medical expenses. Other than these instances, petitioner never provided any other financial support for his son. In 1994, in order to make ends meet and to provide for Robbie's need, private respondent accepted a job as a factory worker in Taiwan, where she worked for 2 years. However, she reached the point that she can no longer support for Robbie's continued education. On the other hand, petitioner apparently did well as he led a luxurious lifestyle. Despite his fabulous wealth, however, petitioner failed to provide support to Robbie. In 2000, private respondent demanded support for Robbie, who was entering high school that coming school year. She explained that, given her financial problems, it was extremely difficult for her to send him to a good school. Petitioner ignored private respondent's demand. The latter was thus forced to rely on the charity of her relatives so that she could enroll her son in the La Salle High School in Lipa City.
The issue of the case is whether or not there is a probable cause to justify his prosecution for the crime of neglect of a minor child punishable under Article 59, Paragraph 4 of PD 603. Also a crime known as indifference of parents, penalized under the second paragraph of Article 277 of the Revised Penal Code.
Ruling. The petitioner is charged with neglect of child punishable under Article 59, Paragraph 4 of PD 603, which has the following elements. First, the offender is a parent. Second, he or she neglects his or her own child. Third, the neglect consists in not giving education to the child. And fourth, the offender's station in life and financial condition permit him to give an appropriate education to the child. Here, petitioner acknowledged Robbie as his son. He has not denied that he never contributed for his education except in 2 instances. He admitted that the boy's education was being financed by private respondent and her relatives. He stated under oath that the last time he sent material support to his son was in 1994, when he supported the latter's hospitalization and medical expenses. There is a prima facie showing from the evidence that petitioner is in fact financially capable of supporting Robbie's education. The notarized General Information Sheet of the RNCD Development Corporation indicates that petitioner owns 750,000 worth of paid-up shares in the company.
Petitioner's assertion that the GIS is not evidence of his financial capability since the shares are allegedly owned by his father is of no moment. The claim is factual and evidentiary, and therefore a defense should be interposed during the trial. What has been ascertained is simply the existence of probable cause for petitioner's indictment for the charge against him. That is, whether there is sufficient ground to engender a well-founded belief that a crime has been committed and that petitioner is probably guilty thereof, and should thus be held for trial. Petitioner's guilt should still be proven beyond reasonable doubt in criminal case number 0431-00.